Later on, we'll also be joined by Dr. Anosike to x-ray some of the newspaper headlines. So once again, good morning and welcome. This morning, we're starting with the Nation newspaper, which leads with tax laws. House of Reps reject Minority Caucus report. The report is saying what began as a routine legislative exercise has spiraled into a bruising institutional dispute. It has pitted political caucuses against parliamentary procedure, with troubling questions raised about the integrity of the law-making process. At the center of the storm are 4 newly enacted tax reform laws that were passed by the National Assembly, signed by the President, gazetted and certified, yet are now mired in allegations of post-passage alterations. Okay, so the details in that report, you'd have to read it on the Nation newspaper. Minority Caucus had a report on the tax laws, and now the House of Reps in its entirety is rejecting that report. Okay, we also have Constitution Review, Electoral Act 2026 Budget, top Senate's agenda on resumption. I hope that we will be carried along in this Constitution Review and the Electoral Act amendment. I expected that when the lawmakers were on recess, they would go home, ask their people for some inputs and all that, so that when they return to the House, they'll be discussing things that they heard from home. I wonder how many of them went home. We also know that Kano Governor Yusuf will pick APC card today. That's according to the headline here on the Nation newspaper. Other headlines are Nigeria opposition politicians incoherent, lack imagination and alternative vision. You can read that story. And also another one which says why presidency must remain in South till 2031 by Amosun. On the Punch newspaper, 2027 battle, Kano earthquake as Yusuf dumps opposition for APC. And the U.S. military is saying we're increasing intelligence equipment support for Nigeria. So it seems as if the support is going to be just given to Nigeria, and I don't know what they're going to do about the manpower and being in the theater of war themselves. Maybe that will not happen anymore. I don't know. You have to read that story to find out what they mean by saying that they are increasing intelligence and equipping Nigerian army or Nigeria. Alleged coup, detained soldiers battling failing health, group alleges. I thought they said there was no coup attempt. Anyway, maybe I didn't get the full story. Okay, Lagos pledges infrastructure upgrade to tackle flood. I hope that this is not just going to refill more places. While they're talking about infrastructure upgrade, they will think about how to let water have its way. Because I don't know in the long run if the reclamation done by the state government will be something good or something bad. Let's move to the Daily Trust newspaper, which leads with how election disputes are redefining Nigeria's democracy. You might want to see that. Kano governor's defection puts deputy on the spot. An alleged coup, military hands over report to Tinubu. On the Vanguard newspaper, $11 billion lost to skills shortage as tech sector outgrows workforce. And this story we heard on the other newspaper is also here saying U.S. military working with Nigeria as part of wider Islamic State pivot. You have to read that to understand what that is. 2027 ADC leaders can't be taken seriously until they offer alternative policies. That's according to Dogara. And the same Dogara is saying 2027, leave me out. He reacts to speculation over replacing Shetima. And Falano is saying demolition of waterfront properties in Lagos is illegal. Okay, let's quickly go through the Sun newspaper and the remaining newspapers. 22 lawmakers dump NNPP as Governor Yusuf rejoins APC in Kano. APC group endorses Motfang's re-election Bali for Senate. Rivers, South Women Group begs Tinubu to wade into political crisis. And the leading headline on the Sun newspaper is, you can't speak truth to power under this government. That's according to Sheyi Makinde. On the Daily Post newspaper, the leading headline, or some of the headlines are, Dogara speaks on replacing Shetima as Tinubu's running mate and says, leave me out. And then Tinubu departs Nigeria for state visit to Turkey. Rivers, APC concludes World Congress ahead of by-elections. And finally, from the Guardian newspaper, decades of trade deals fail to wean Nigeria off crude oil dependence is the leading headline there. And there's a report which is saying communities grapple with insecurity while governors grovel to Abuja. Okay, let's drop it there for now. There's so many other headlines. If you want to go through them and talk with us, go right ahead. If there's something in your neighborhood that needs to be talked about, that didn't make it or couldn't make it to the front pages of our national dailies, let's also have it. Let's have it. Okay, let's now join Rufai Hosseini for his thirds on the headlines this morning.
Right, a couple of stories making the rounds today. So the House Minority Caucus alleges illegal alteration of Nigeria's tax law. And I'm going to be telling you this. This is an exclusive. Another committee of the House of Representative Minority Caucus has alleged that there are key provisions of the Nigerian tax laws that were illegally altered after the approval by the National Assembly. So, presenting his report, the committee chaired by Honorable Afam Victor Ogene confirmed that material discrepancies between the versions of the tax law passed by the Parliament and the earlier gazetted copies already in circulation. According to the report, the committee discovered that there were 3 different versions of the NTA that existed, a comparison with the certified true copy released on the directive of Speaker Abba. Among the most significant findings were allegedly the changes that lower tax reporting threshold, effectively expanding the tax net without legislative approval, inserting a new provision compelling taxpayers to deposit 20% of the disputed tax amount before appealing to the court, expanding enforcement powers, including the arrest and sale of assets without court order, remove petroleum profit tax and VAT from the definition of federal taxes, mandated US dollar-based tax computations for petroleum operators, contrary to the version passed by lawmakers. The committee also reported similar concerns in the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Act, where provisions granting the National Assembly oversight and reporting powers were allegedly deleted in the gazetted version. Minority caucus said that the Speaker earlier directed to align the act with the federal government's printing press further pointed to the procedural irregularities, describing the situation as an affront to the Constitution and the doctrine of separation of powers, and concluded the evidence so far justifies a deeper investigation and formally requested more time to conduct a comprehensive probe. The panel said its ultimate goal is to identify those responsible for this. So, this is another point that is saying that the tax laws were changed here and there, and they called them. This is a minority caucus report. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of drama in the Senate from in the National Assembly from next week, and it's going to be an exciting, interactive time. So let's see how all of this is going to pan out, and let's see what is going to happen. These are interesting times for Nigeria, very interesting times. That this tax matter, it was actually a case of manipulation. And for Mr. Oshomole that says food is getting too cheap in Nigeria, this is a story for him. A woman in Igodo collapsed from hunger, and test has revealed this, that she was pregnant with her 4th child amidst financial challenges. A young woman who recently collapsed from hunger has found to be pregnant with her 4th child. The incident occurred when the woman was seen begging for food, and this highlights their family financial stress, leaving her infant temporarily stranded before being revived and rushed to Alimosho area for attention. According to sources, donations previously sent to the family had been exhausted by her husband. As a result, the support had stopped. Our community members and local welfare groups have expressed concern. The case has drawn attention to hunger and maternal health issues in Lagos. This is a woman that collapsed from hunger because she didn't have food to eat in a gondo. For others, they say food is becoming too cheap. Let's be watching. Let's be looking. Time will tell. You see, all of our leaders, they forget something. That there is a God in heaven that sees all of us, that sees all the shenanigans and all the pain and all the suffering that is going on, and that sees what is happening. So we need to look at ourselves and look at it well. It is well with us, but our leaders should stop playing with our lives, should stop hurting our lives, should stop this shambolic way of doing things. And I'm happy that Nigeria Bar Association has reacted to the patron that a branch in Garaki gave Abdulrashid Maina, the same man that was taken to jail for stealing pension money. Afam Osigwe has said he views with disdain the appointment of Abdulrashid Maina, who was convicted for stealing over 2 billion in pension fund, as grand patron of MBA Garki branch. The purported appointment not only paints the branch in a bad light, but it makes mockery of the government fight against corruption. Equally reprehensible was the decision by the chairman to make comments about Abdulrashid Maina appeal, currently believed to be pending at the Supreme Court. While the NBA respects Mr. Mina's right to exhaust his right of appeal, The bar will not, under any guise of such an appeal, be seen try to sway public opinion. You can see people that steal money. Those are the people that an MBA, lawyers, came together, a branch. So they came together to give him an award. The same Abdurrashid Mina, that when they went to arrest him, his son brought out a gun and pointed a gun at security officials that came to arrest him. So it is a sad one. It's an indication of things gone south. But we'll keep speaking the truth, because if we don't speak the truth, our nation does not move forward. We'll keep speaking the truth, just like how we spoke the truth about the tax matter. We'll keep speaking it and saying it the way it is. Right, still some stories making the rounds. For a lot of people, what Trump is doing is very bad in America. Only last week, ICE went ahead and caused damage again by apprehending a 5-year-old, because they wanted to they arrested him from school and they wanted to arrest his father, and they took a 5-year-old in detention, for immigration issues in America. Then over the weekend, still in Minneapolis, somebody got killed again. The lie Trump administration is lying is that, the person tried to challenge the police. He had a gun on him, but he didn't bring out the gun to shoot anybody. They have video evidence to that effect. You see, it will be on record that we spoke about how Trump is upending the world. And for those that support him, the lies are too much. And whatever lie you tell yourself, I hope one day reality will catch up with you and you will see that this man is a pariah. Sheyi Makinde was saying the other day that he misses, too much. That he misses Osinbajo. And things are not the same under this administration. The question we should ask Sheyi Makinde is that, but he worked for Tinubu now, so why is he complaining because things don't favor him? You see, the way politicians talk like the world revolves around them, just like the way somebody was talking the other day, I think it was Oshomole that was saying that food is getting too cheap in Nigeria. The way these politicians talk, just like as about a year ago, the wife of the former governor for your state was saying, it's going to be war, PDP must go, your state. And now she's saying that it's AI that said it. But anyway, they've brought out the video that you know that said. You see, politicians should stop talking like the world revolves around them. If Tinubu has outsmarted you, as Sheyi Makinde, I think you should just deal with that. Why are you not going around and saying, I miss Osinbajo and everything? When you were working for Tinubu, when you worked against your own party, because you said based on principle, it must come to the South, and you worked against Atiku in your own party. So why are you complaining today? Why are you complaining about the same Tinubu that you worked for? It's today you know. So I think to a large extent, so sometimes when I hear Sheyi talk, I just keep looking. And Sheyi Makinde, I just keep looking and I'm like, what are we talking about here? And this also goes for Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso that is now saying, hey, 23 of January should be remembered as a day of betrayal. That his person left him, the man he gave the position to, that's the governor of Kano State, left him. There will always be fights between political godfather and political son. Show me, there are not too many, even if they are there. A political godfather and a political son that will not fight. So once you're giving him power, he will have a mindset of his own. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. These politicians, the earlier they wake up, the better it is for them. My own priority is how can they build Nigeria? That's my own priority. So that's just how can we fight insecurity? And how can we bring people like the local government chairman to book? The local government chairman that was part of those that denied that over 177 people were kidnapped. How can we bring people like that to book? So that's just it. The earlier we stop deceiving ourselves, the better it is for all of us. That's just it. How can we fix the problem of insecurity? No lights, no water, nothing. How can we fix that? I think those are the problems we should look at. Obi or nothing mindset may not be helpful. ADC wants supporters. I mean, supporters will always push the narrative of their own person, and that's what they believe in. So I think it's the ADC too that you should listen to the cry of the people and be careful whatever they do. But anyway, like I've always predicted about the ADC, I see an implosion once after they do their, if the ADC survives after they do their party primaries, presidential primaries, I will know that they are viable opposition. But I want them to prove me wrong. We'll wait and we'll see. Gunmen attacked Zamfara community, abduct 25 residents in Tumozawa village, an agrarian community in Bangudu local government of Zamfara. There's a report by Zagazalo Makama, counterinsurgency publication focused on Lake Chad region, that the armed men attacked the village on Wednesday night. Citing residents, they said the attackers arrived in large number at about 11:25 p.m. in Kotorkoshi village of district of the village, firing sporadically before moving from house to house. Look at the level of insecurity going on in the country, and our leaders cannot solve it. Cannot solve it. The country keeps wallowing. So based on the fears I asked Taiwo Oyedele about this tax matter, that is it actually true that money can be taken from your account? And he said, oh, there's a method called the substitution method. After you go through a rigmarole with the tax authority and they determine and you don't pay, you can actually go into your account and take money. Lagos State has now issued a statement that based on that substitution method now, that money can be taken from your account and it will be withdrawn from your account, and it can even be taken from your creditors or any third party just to be able to settle a tax liability. But with that one, I think you have to have gone through a legal process with them and all of that. But people are beginning to say no, that's not right. And there's a video making the rounds. Anyway, we'll not be able to independently verify. Maybe it's a new video about removal from the traditional account to the tune of over 100 billion. And one wonders what is going on in this country. What is causing those removals? What is causing those monies going out of the traditional account? What is really happening? What is the future of this country? I mean, what's the antecedents even of this country? We know the antecedents has been baked in corruption and all sorts of shenanigans. But what it is certain, you see, the level of brazenness and the level of government loops, anything they are stealing in this government. Anyway, once another government comes, it's going to be revealed. So it is just a sad reminder that Nigeria is drifting into an abyss that is not going to all go well for us as a country. When you are seeing the level of unexplained withdrawals and money is going out, and the debts based on the too much loans we are taking. One can just imagine and say, God, what's happening to this country? What is happening to this country? NDLE intercepted a Brazilian lady with about 3 billion worth of heroin. Disco rejects free meter plan. Suspected kidnappers kill police inspector during rescue operation in Oyo. That's a very sad one. alleged detained soldiers battling failing health. So I think these were soldiers that were detained around the conversation where they were saying there was, I think, a coup attempt of some sort and all of that. So I think there's been a story leaking that there's a protest, that the soldiers have been detained. So I think some of their wives are battling ill health. And these are some of the stories coming out and making arounds today. These are just very sad indications of the kind of country we live in. Even till date, we have not even heard even the confirmation by the government or anything about this talk about that coup and all of that. Police arrest 3 over a mob killing by robbery suspects in Calabar. Oyo acid attack, husband and wife dead, children struggle for survival. Bandits again abduct 6 in Kujuru. So this was the same Kujuru where the local government chairman begged the villagers that they should not talk, they should lie that bandits didn't come to attack them because of politics and the fact that if they don't lie like that, the government will not provide, developmental aid for them, which was a lie. And today, that kind of local government chairman still works free in this country. Sometimes I don't know what really goes on in this country. It's a sad commentary on our country. It's a sad commentary on our country. It's just a sad one. And that local government chairman is going everywhere, feeling free. So it's a sad one. The governor of Ondo is saying, I'm not endorsed any aspirant for state and national assembly elections. That's what he's saying. And there are just so many stories making the rounds. Fayoshe is coming out to say that Makinde is being a mouthpiece of the opposition because President Tinubu gave him the cold shoulder when he went to meet the president in Abuja recently. What I met the president in Abuja? That was why he said that he's not joining the party. The story making the rounds again that tax law empowers Lagos to recover unpaid taxes through tenants, through banks. That's if you're a landlord, own taxes. Abba Yusuf is to rejoin the APC on Monday. Reps reject Umari's rice donation over stringent conditions. So it's a very interesting story where some of the rep members they were saying that they've rejected bags of rice donated by Umari, Minister of Works, over stringent conditions attached to distribution. Sources say that the lower legislative chamber told the cable newspaper that the legislators are unhappy with the procedures outlined in an internal memo. Legislators were required to obtain special forms from the Speaker's office, present copies of their identity card, and secure written authorization from their principals before the rice will be released. And this is because of 25 kg bags, 5 bags of rice. You can see how they look at the people with poverty. So you see 5 bags of rice, of 25 kg bags, that a minister is now distributing for lawmakers. It's just a sad ordeal. Tinubu departs Abuja for Turkey on state visit. President Tinubu has gone again. He barely spent many weeks. When did he even come back, sir? He barely spent that many weeks. He has gone again. So, plus this state visit now, in the first time, he went around the 28th of December. At least this year, he has spent close to 16, 17 days abroad. Then, plus this state visits, in the space of January alone, January has 31 days. In January alone, President Tinubu will have spent close to over 20 days abroad. That's just it. So, in fact, that's what some people are saying. He's a tourist. He just used to come and visit us in Nigeria and he will go abroad back. So this is what Nigerians that voted for him voted for. And it's a sad indication of the country where there are so many challenges on the country. There are critical matters of insecurity he needs to address. What is happening in Kujuru, for instance? Since he came, he has not even at least been able to go to the village of Kujuru to grant solidarity with the people. I remember we had to scream, so that he will go to Benue when the water attacks happen. Doesn't go there, doesn't condole with people, doesn't do anything. It's just a sad one. And after now, when the foreign authorities talk about insecurity, they will lie that it's a screwdriver from Onitsha that reported Nigeria to America that there's insecurity. It's just a very sad day for our nation.
Thank you very much, Rufai Hussaini, for your thoughts this morning. It's still the front page review, and we're being joined by Dr. Peter Anosike. Good morning and welcome, Doctor.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
Finally, the Harmattan has come. When I was told on Friday that the Harmattan had come, I was in the studio and I was like, no. And then I went out, the place was dry and all that. The seasons are changing, just like our political seasons are changing right now.
Well, that's it. I've been bathing cold water for some, but this morning I have to go and heat water, and you can see I'm putting on a
jacket.
Okay,
let's begin with the Nation newspaper's leading headline: Tax laws. House of Reps reject Minority Caucus report. We woke up to that story this morning. What do you say about that?
Well, APC has succeeded in using every cohesion to make themselves the absolute majority in the National Assembly, both Senate and House of Reps. So, and you cannot ordinarily work against your party. So that is the thing. Understand? But I know that that new tax law is a product of forgery. It is a product of forgery, and that tax law have given the operators more powers than even the court and the police. Understand me? Because it gave them power to arrest. Understand? It gave them power to arrest, and it gave them power that for you to even argue against anything, you must, an instance, if they say you are to pay 100 million naira, before you begin to argue, you must deposit 20%. That's 20 million naira before you begin to go to court or to call police. So this is draconian. This is draconian, and it can only happen it cannot happen in any other country in this world except this country. There's nowhere in the world that before you make a case, you must make a deposit. And I know Nigeria, this nonsense must come to an end one day, and very soon.
What I don't understand is who set up the ad hoc committee, because the House declared, according to this report, that the committee was procedurally invalid and lacked the authority to conduct investigations or submit reports for legislative consideration. So the House rejected outrightly the findings of the Minority Caucus.
But they were now to sit. But they were allowed to sit before coming up with a report saying that what was gazetted was forged. Understand? And once it is forged, it is null and void. And this is what Tinubu said they must start implementing from January 1st, why the controversies have not been settled. So we are being ruled by a false tax law. We are being ruled by a forged tax law. And they are going to use this to hunt, to victimize people. Because they can come to your office and say, man, you are going to pay 1 billion naira as tax. Understand? Before you say no, before you say I'm not making profit, you must deposit 200 million. If not, they will arrest you. So the tax law gave them more power than even the president. Power of arrest, power of detention, without first of all getting a warrant from the court. Have you ever heard this in any country before? Have you ever heard in any country that you can be arrested without a court warrant? Not for stealing, not for armed robbery, not for killing, but you did not pay tax. Why? Because the government cannot grow the economy on their own. Because they cannot grow the economy on their own, the only way they can raise money is by forcing people to pay tax.
Okay, let's go to another matter. Constitution Review, Electoral Act, 2026 budget, top Senate's agenda on resumption. So they went on recess, they are resuming, and these are the 3 things on their agenda.
For me, all those things are waste of time. Both the constitutional review, because the main thing that affects the ordinary people. Everywhere I go, I represent the ordinary people. And those are the ones that God created. Understand me? I represent those that God created, and that is the ordinary people. Understand? Those that going with escort are created by Satan. So, the constitutional review that they are talking about, they are not reviewing the ones that will affect the ordinary Nigerian people. Understand? What we need is resource control. What we need is definition of power. What we need is our fundamental human rights to be protected by government. Understand? So they are just flying on the air. Until we have resource control in this country, we can never move forward.
Okay, but if we have to have resource control, there needs to be a constitution review. My problem is,
are they addressing those issues?
Exactly.
No.
My problem is that when they went on recess, I expected that they will go back to their constituencies and consult, so that when they come back, they will
most
be talking.
of them traveled abroad. They are running from those that they will go to in the next few months to go and pretend that they are begging for votes, even though in their mind they know that they are going to rig election. Most of these House of Representative members, most of these senators, they visited their communities once every 4 years to go and seek for re-election.
To go and do empowerment.
I saw one, it could be in your own state.
That gave cassava sticks.
Cassava
Well, Oshomole is saying that food is very cheap, so maybe that's one of the reasons why food is very cheap. How does a House of Reps member empower people with cassava sticks? It's crazy.
Well, they say NYSC say now you are suffering continues. Understand? And mind you, there are bandits waiting for those people in the farms. Those bandits are still there.
Okay. But you just mentioned some things that if they were to amend this constitution, you would like to see in the constitution, things that you know will bring peace and
will affect the ordinary people.
Yes. But in the Electoral Act, what are the things that you would like to see corrected, in case they're listening to us now?
One, we want free, fair, credible election.
Yeah.
And I know that the truth is that election being free and fair is not the sole responsibility of INEC. political parties has a lot to do. Security agencies has a lot to do. That is all hands on deck. But if you can have a situation where results will be transmitted in real time from the polling unit to the IRF. Understand? And again, any result that's any from EC8 that don't have the signature of all the political parties of the agents there should be declared null and void. Understand me? But political parties also contribute to the rigging of the election, because INEC don't have talks. Do you understand me? INEC don't bring talks to the polling unit. It is political parties that bring talks to the polling unit. INEC don't have people that snatch ballot boxes. It is political parties. So the truth is that there's much that INEC can do. There's also much that political parties can do, and even other people too. Security agencies are also part of it, because I have seen a video of a policeman carrying a ballot box and running away. A policeman. Understand? So it is all hands on deck, and whatever they are doing should go beyond the Electoral Act to the Constitution. Because what they'll come and tell you is that this is not in our Constitution. Understand? That this is not in our Constitution. So the senators should make sure that any reform they are doing should not only stop at the Electoral Act, but it should be made constitutional. Because this is what will be used in court.
Okay. Now, insecurity. We're increasing intelligence equipment support for Nigeria. That's according to the U.S. military.
But Nigerians are not making use of it. You can imagine what happened in Kaduna State, where over 170 people were abducted. The Commissioner of Police Kaduna State said that it is not true. How on earth can you cover that thing? That 170 people were abducted in 3 different churches, and you, as a Commissioner of Police, saying it is not true. And you know that these people that were abducted have relations. They have children, they have a wife, they have husband. So somebody who is crying that his relation or his father was abducted, policeman will now say that it is not true. Understand? It's just like me telling policeman that I'm hungry. He said, no, you are not hungry. Understand? So the intelligence that they are, and again, with this attitude of Nigeria policemen, you cannot even be getting that intelligence, because intelligence relies on the people. Understand? Intelligence should come from the people, and when you are given information, you don't work with it, you don't rely on it, then why must people keep on giving you more information? With the Kaduna State abduction as a key point. Okay,
so alleged coup. Detained soldiers battling failing health, group alleges. So remember that the army came out to say that it's not a coup. The grievances of the soldiers stemmed largely from perceived career stagnation caused by repeated failure in promotion examinations. Even when some sources within the military also told the media that the officers were detained over an alleged failed coup, citing decisions of the federal government to suddenly cancel the Independence Day parade on October 1, 2025. So these are the things that are happening, and a group is saying that these people, their health is deteriorating, so they should be released.
Well,
was there a coup? Was there no coup?
Nigeria is the most interesting country in the world.
Abracadabra.
We were told that these people were arrested for failing exams. That was the first statement that Nigerian military made, that they were arrested for failing exams. Imagine arresting somebody for failing exams.
Yeah.
Understand? And since then, you have been detaining them. So they said that there was no queue. Then why are you detaining them? Understand? If there's no queue, there's not supposed to be arrest. Then why are people under arrest for many months now? So since they said that there's no queue, they should release them. Understand? And if somebody failed the exam, now his own headache. Understand me? If somebody failed the exam, now his own headache.
I see why you were laughing when I asked the question. How do you arrest somebody for failing exam? Okay, you have spent too much money on the person, and the person still. Even fathers who are disappointed in their children, don't arrest them.
Understand me?
It's really interesting. Okay, so let's go to something else. Lagos pledges infrastructure upgrade to tackle flood. That's a headline I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's a good one. You know, Lagos State has Atlantic Ocean. Understand? So, and we are prone to all those things. So, we are even fortunate that what is happening in the other countries is not happening in Nigeria. Understand? And in other countries of the world, just like what's happening in America now, winter storm. We don't have such thing in Nigeria. Understand? This is a forest fire that can burn for 4 months, 5 months. We don't have such in Nigeria. So when you talk about climate, Nigeria is favored by God. And the reason is because God knows that we will not have the capacity to manage that. If what is happening in America should happen in Nigeria, everybody will have been dead by now. Because we don't have maintenance culture, we don't respond in real time. And again, when this thing happens, we don't even, just like the death of over 800 people in Ebonyi State some time ago, NIMET gave a warning, nobody obeyed. Understand? Nobody obeyed until it came. Just like the days of Noah in the Bible.
Yeah.
Understand? Some people are still not believing and obeying. So Lagos State government is rich. They can do anything. So prevention is far better than cure.
But Lagos State being rich seems to make Lagos take some decisions that are very troubling. For instance, the sand filling of areas, do you think it's a boon or a bane? Because everywhere you go, even this Makoko that they are destroying now, they might just sand fill it instead of maybe going the way of Venice or any other city that is built on water. Because we have the Atlantic Ocean, we have the money, so you just go and sandfill somewhere and make it an estate.
You know.
So how do you fight flooding and then your
that to make some investigations, call the right people that to come and make sure that one, what this land is for is what you are going to use it for. Understand me? Because if you go to the secretariat there, every land is gazetted either for industrial use or for residential use. People don't go asking these questions.
But if you are going to the island, for instance, from the mainland, and you're looking right, you find out that
that's a Owodoshoki area.
Yes, they're filling some of those areas. That can't be something coming from bad people in government. That should be sanctioned by the government in its entirety. So things like this happen. So many places that water should naturally, let's say water finds its level. And there was a report some time ago that every year the city of Lagos sinks by some kind of
it sinks every year.
Every year.
And what we heard is in about 50 years the city might be no more.
They may not be Lagos. Yeah. So I saw that report as well. So if they keep feeling that and not taking drastic steps, it's just to demolish houses here and there and say they are building on passageways and all that. But the government itself is sandfilling or allowing people to sandfill areas that water should pass.
No,
Shouldn't they be thinking about building on top of water or something.
I don't think if government can do that, it should be individuals conniving with corrupt people in government. I don't think if government can come and begin that to sandfield where it's not supposed to be sandfield. Because water doesn't make noise, but it always finds its way, just a matter of time.
Yeah. So how do you describe a place like Third Mainland Bridge that I've told you? It's not hidden. It's not like they are going to.
No, everybody sees.
They are going to mark it, stop work.
The governor passes there every day, but is focused on that. Understand me? Is the governor focused on that? Let me give you a practical example. I don't know if you know Apple. That's Apple Junction to Agop and that's way, Okota.
Yeah.
There's always tankers train that's parking on that road. Armed robbers used to hide there to attack people. Understand me? The tankers train that's also used to cause accidents. It has killed many people. So one day the landlords in those areas decided that to go to the Lagos State Task Force chairman to give an order for those trainers to be removed from there. I was among the people that went to the chairman of the Lagos State Task Force. When we are talking of the urgency of removing that, the chairman of Lagos State Task Force, do you know what he told us? You are talking as if the governor is living there.
So if the governor is not living there,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Understand me? That's what the chairman of Lagos State Task Force told us then. That we are talking as if the governor is living that on that side. So this is the mentality of those in government. Understand? That some people can die, some people are not important.
Well, Lagos State, in case you've not seen the result, they said that Lagos State is sinking or subsiding.
The world here is sinking gradually. Like in the next 50
by
years.
13.1 centimeter annually. So it could go higher with this sand filling and all that, because if it is sinking normally without all those kind of activities, then imagine what will happen if these things continue this way. Because governor is not living on Third Mainland Bridge, governor is not living at Akota, governor is not. It is a very, very poor mentality, and maybe because there's too much money here, people think they can live, they can become God.
Well, that's a mindset which is very, very bad.
It's dangerous.
Which is very, very bad.
Very dangerous. Okay, so now let's look at let's say $11 billion lost to skill shortage as tech sector outgrows workforce. This brings the question to education. How much is our education system equipped to go with the trend of nowadays?
One, I'm ashamed of the curriculum being used in the schools. It is out of date. It is out of date. In today's world, a Nigerian student graduate from the university unskilled. Understand? You are not prepared to face the reality of the world when you graduate from the university. Understand? I have seen it over and over. That's why I have called let the 1 year for NYSC, which is now contributing to the waste, be used as skill acquisition. Understand? Let the 1 year mandatory NYSC be used as skill acquisition. When you are going there, you are going to learn one skill or the other. Understand? It's going to do two things. One, if you are going there that to learn welding, understand? The money that they are paying you, you know that if you finish learning this welding, you are going to start something. So you will now be saving part of that money. Understand? You have now been given a purpose, a direction. So even as in NYS, the allowance now is 70,000. You can decide to be using 40 for yourself and saving 30. That to buy the basic things that you will need when you finish NYSC. Understand me?
Saving 30,000 in Nigeria today.
I'm talking of NY. You don't have
even
parents.
Even then, doctor.
No.
Even then.
If you have a purpose, you sacrifice. Everybody sacrificing. If you have a purpose, what you are working towards, you must sacrifice.
If you're living in Lagos, for instance, the place you're going to get those skills, first of all, maybe a place that you'll be paying more than 1,000 naira to. Secondly, to get a house in Lagos, because they are not going to give you, except you are going to be talking about the federal government giving free houses to NYSC members. They are going to pay for this housing.
How are they surviving now? How are they surviving?
By using all the 70,000 and even more.
Listen to me. No, one, this gives you a direction. It gives you a direction. When there's a direction, there is discipline, there's focus. Understand? Now, you come out with a skill. We are no more talking about book knowledge. What we are talking about is physical knowledge. This is not what did you read. It's what can you do. Understand? This is how the Silicon Valley in California started. Understand? If 100 people then welding, for instance, they can say, let us come together and establish a business.
Let's digress a little bit. In the face of all this, do you think the move by the federal government to make polytechnics and universities the same a good one?
They have different philosophies. Polytechnic has different polytechnics are basically for practical. Understand? University is for theory. Understand? So, and each is to complement the other, which is not happening as we speak. Understand? So, talking about making HND, turning HND to BSc, it doesn't mean anything. We are still where we are. The problem is not what is written on your certificate, it's what can you do.
Because polytechnics in most cases have the skill that university graduates do not have.
That's what I'm saying.
But they get
now.
paid more.
That's what I'm saying now. But even the latest equipments are not there. I was in Yaba Tech last week, Thursday. Understand? I went around all the school. Everything has gone down. Everything when there's no more equipment, it becomes a theoretical school.
There's a university in Lagos here. Someone was telling me, a student there was telling me that they have a car assembly plant within the school, but there is no kind of collaboration where students go to do IT or students have to go get some kind of skill or something from that company, but it is within the school.
Excuse me. There are things that are done that cannot be encouraged. Understand? Some time ago, one guy came with an aeroplane. Understand? To VOP MTV. Understand? People were celebrating. To me, it's nothing. It is nothing. How to build an aeroplane, how to build a car is in the mechanical book of every engineering. Understand me? How to build a car, how to build an aeroplane is in the book. Building one is not important. The question is, how can you make it more competitive? Understand? How can you make it cheaper than the Japanese? Can you? You cannot. Understand me? So that you have an assembly plant that's making aeroplane, that to me does not make sense.
Yeah, but these people come out with no skills, zero skills, no experience at all, but there is an opportunity they could have had the skills, and it is not being exploited.
When you are going into business, think of what people can buy. Think of what people can use. Understand me? You cannot be assembling an aeroplane. Why you cannot make it cheaper than that of Boeing or Airbus?
But first, you will have to have the skills to be able to make it, not just theory. This is what I'm complaining about. You have the opportunity to go and see what they're doing, and then you will improve on your own. That's how it happens.
If you are going in business, think of what people need. Think of what people will buy. Think of what people can afford. Understand? So we have not gotten to that stage. We have not gotten to that stage.
Anyway, this eventually is how much we can go. Okay, let me just take one more. Maybe you just a short comment. You can't speak truth to power under this government. That's according to Makinde. What do you say?
Well, because everywhere is military rise. Understand me? Everybody is afraid of DSS, EFCC, and so on and so forth. Understand? So those who are rich are afraid of EFCC. Understand? That they can come with one thing or the other, especially when you have done business with government. But for me, if you are free, you can say your mind, but let it be what you know that is true. Don't just begin to say to blackmail or deceive people with what is not real. I'm not in support of that.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Anosike, for your time this morning.
Yeah,
this is how much we can go.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the front page review. It's time now to open our phones for you to call us and let us hear what you have to say about the headlines this morning. The numbers to call are 0700 903 903 903, 0700 903 903 903, or 080 36 92 9933, 080 36 92 9933. You can reach us on WhatsApp on 081 71 75 6338, 081 71 75 6338. Call us now. Let's hear what you have to say. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Yango.
Good morning to you.
This is John Legend calling from Mushi.
John Legend, go ahead.
Yango.
Yes, sir.
My take this morning is concerning this tax of a 10.
Yeah.
You see, the problem of APC, I don't know whether I will call them in fact, I don't want to make a bad speech, rather. But I don't know why you bring something out and you cannot stand and defend it, and you are giving an ultimatum concerning it. So, are they going to collect tax if somebody pay you 100,000 naira or 200,000 naira or 1 million naira for a job? Now they will take tax from there by force, and you yourself have never delivered the job to that person, knowing that whether you again is 100,000 or again is 50,000 naira. Are they going to collect the tax by force? That when somebody gives you a job for you to do, now you have not removed money for the cost of material and do some things you're supposed to do. Immediately they see money, they will take the money out of your account. You know what I'm saying is that is why I tell you that the Nigerian police and the army are the highest corrupt people in Nigeria. Number one is this: they are using the police and the army against us in election. They are using the police against us even when they claim that we voted them in power. They will use the police and army to guide themselves so that we will not have access to them. They will use the police and army to put in their house gates that nobody can enter there. As long as I, John Legend, is concerned, this current government of APC, they are bunch of criminals. Thank you.
What a way to end it. John Legend, thank you for your call this morning. Calm down. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Yango.
Good morning to you, sir.
My own concern is about a Somali
Yeah.
who is claiming that food is cheap in Nigeria. Since we want to know the source of that food that can become cheap, because most of the farmers are still over there in the IDP. Why should there be low cost of this thing? They should forget about all these things they are practicing. The more you need, the less you see. It is not good. God is watching everybody. You can defeat people, but you cannot defeat God. And the voice of the politicians that are suffering the masses of this country, they will pay. Whether they like it or not, or they agree or not, if they didn't pay this time around, their generation must surely pay for it. God bless you. Thank you for.
Thank you very much. God bless you too. Okay. Call us now. The lines are still open. Let us hear you talk. All right. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, my lovely brother here.
Good morning to you.
Thank you. Tunde Shitu is speaking from Akowajo.
Tunde,
My daddy, my pit card, I've already said it all. My daddy already said it all. But I want to go to education line about NYC. My daddy in the studio, they have already said it all. Let me tell you something. NYC now, the way they are looking at it now, they need to change their orientation. That's what my daddy said. If they wanted to learn skill, let them learn skill. Normally, when we go to school, all the experience, when you know, I serve in Calabar, I told you now for uniform Ogoja, I know your place very well. Yeah. They are accommodative, they are lovely people. Yeah. If I get money to them, I wanted to pay in Calabar. I love that place, you know, especially all the money I carry to NYC, you know, I enjoy myself in Obudu Ranch, you know, I enjoy myself. Calabar is clean. Good road, good everything. Whether the fact that you don't say I go there, but you know, a lot of people I think that and now they have become billionaires, they are okay, and they are paying my money to my account. But like what my daddy said now, they need to change the education of all the people that go to school now. Like what my daddy said, when you go to NYC, normally they need skills. Because here you see, here you go to education line now, but this you see most of the people that are going to education now, they need to use their certificate. Some people will say that I don't want to go there, and the better you go to they come back to the skill. What are we talking about? We don't need to be fooling ourselves in this country now. That's it. If people finish everything like the way they say that they can't compare two of them together. Normally, the BSc and the HND is normal. But the way I'm saying it now, they need to change the orientation of our young youth now. Learn skills. I work in bank, I have the opportunity to work in bank now. Come and see people that carry money to the bank. Now, businessman, you can never see people that go to school. How many people that are getting job nowadays now? That's why I'm begging a lot of people. If you are ready to school. If you are ready to school, you are business, find something doing. Don't wait for your brother, your sister to come and help you or anybody. That's it. My daddy is right. NYC need to look into it and they find something. And the way you are saying 70%, let me tell you something. When people are going to NYC, they get money. I collect federal government award, I collect state government award, my man is still there, Ogoja, inform comprehensive high school. They give me like I enjoy my life in Calabar. That's why I can never cancel NYC in my life. But we need to change the orientation. When you are teaching students what they are knowing, you should find something to learn skills. Know what you are doing. I'm a marketer. Know what you are doing. That's it. And I want NYC to work into it. Oh my God. For this government, I don't tell you now one chance. Nothing APC can do. Find money for themselves. I can't go to celebrate this government. I'm not a tribalism, or I travel a lot too. I'm tired of the party. Their strategy. You say that you move to 10 people, you move to a lot of intelligent people in politics. I know MK Abdullah, I work with you. I have opportunity to work in Nigerian Tribune. I know MK don't want people to suffer. But this one, it will struggling now. One chance, and they said I know politics. Make a politics because of money. Use money to buy everybody. My daddy, Peter, Almighty God will bless you. You are Mr. Darlington and the Esther, all of you. You are too more. It's for you.
Thank you very much, Tunde. Oh, from Comprehensive Secondary School. I taught there at one point anyway. So, which means you're closer home than you know it. Okay. There's a message here coming and saying, good morning. Army arrested a woman supplying drugs to Boko Haram terrorists. And why can't Army go along with the woman to locate the hideout of the Boko Haram terrorists and smoke them out? or are army waiting for Donald Trump to come and smoke them out? Leo from Lagos State. Mazi Ugo Chukwu, aka Elder General from Isheri Osun, is saying this tax reform is going to be another calamity on Nigerians. Our lawmakers should do the needful. If Donald Trump and USA military wants to help our country to fight insurgency, they should go on and stop this their long protocol. It's time to sack we as FCT minister. Please release Nnamdi Kano. And this one is saying, good morning, Yamgula. Learned that the Minister for Power ordered the discos to give out prepaid meters to the already impoverished Nigerians for free. But the so-called discos supplied that it cannot be, citing political statements. So the discos are now more powerful than the Tinubu, who wakes up anytime to approve by fiat, subsidy is gone, national anthem, tax permit, etc., meaning Nigerians can never enjoy anything tangible from this APC government. This is terrible. Boyerson from Afro Media and Franco Nero from USA is saying it's a huge constitutional offense by the executive branch to forge and manipulate the tax law passed by the National Assembly and signed by the president. All those involved in this enormous criminal act must be identified and prosecuted. Meanwhile, the Garki branch of the NBA disgraced itself when it appointed Maina, a convicted thief, as a patron. Glad to hear the president of the NBA speaking against it. Nigerians must rise to confront and push out all those failed politicians that have inflicted so much pain and hunger of the citizens. Like I said, this is from Frank Onero from the USA. Before I take the call, let me take this again. Beautiful morning to everyone in the studio. Anyone waiting for the National Assembly making public hearing concerning the Constitution amendment is just wasting his or her time, because APC government doesn't need or regard our inputs in any national issue, because about 99% of them are APC members. About the insecurities in Nigeria, I, Mayor, will sincerely advise our security men to lay down their arms in protest, because the so-called rulers in the north are not helping matters. The military men will arrest the bandits and Boko Haram, and their rulers will release them back into the society. What is the need for fighting them? Please let the north be free for all battleground, because according to their rulers, the bandits and Boko Haram are their brothers. Oh God, arise and trouble those who are troubling Nigerians. Mayor from Ikontuegbe. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
This is Yakudi Olatunde Maruf from Abudasole.
Maruf, go ahead.
I just want to advise Nigeria to stop deceiving themselves concerning this free prepaid meter. About 500,000 prepaid meter for over 200 million Nigerians. What are we saying? Namgo, please talk to them, let them know. Nobody should talk about it again. More than 200 million Nigerians, millions. You know, do you know how many houses we have in Lagos alone? Giving out just 500,000 paid meter. Even 10 million paid meter cannot occupy anybody. How many will go to Lagos State alone? So never forget that. So this Sheima Kide and this man Wike, they have been used as dump. You know, I used to say it every time that Tinubu have used them finish. So don't you forget about anything concerning 2020, 2027. If Makide and Wike said they want to have their own successor that will become governor in 2027, they are in problem. They will not win. They are going to be, you know, how am I going to call this? Okay, they are going to be retired politicians in 2027, because they are new candidate will emerge, not their own candidates will win. That's it. So God bless VOP. So I wanted to thank you, Jambo. One of our brothers was kidnapped here in Abuja. Yeah. He was traveling he want to go to Sokoto. So I said it in your program this morning. Yeah. So the guy has been released with a lot of money, a huge amount of money. Oh. He was
kidnapped.
Yeah, you know, they kidnapped all of them from this road. They are coming from Sokoto. They were all kidnapped at Niger State. So when they now contacted his father, they are speaking Hausa language. They were saying that they should pay 30 million. So fortunately, the money was reduced to 10 million. So when the now said that you bring the money, the father went to Mokwa. They said, don't come to Mokwa again. They have come to Taraba. All the way from Lagos to Taraba So to Mokwa to Taraba, that was where they paid the ransom in cash before the guy was released yesterday. They should be in Lagos now. They are coming. Everybody's waiting for them in Abuja here.
Well,
where they are doing Kampala there. So very, very popular area. And John Smoke so I'm not sweet here.
We thank
God. So we thank God. That's Nigeria now. That's what we are facing, especially in Kwara State from the local government. See, please, we need separate us. Let us go. Kwara State, they should give us Kwara State, Ilorin State, because they are not taking care of us. All of.
Okay. Thank you very much. Maybe your airtime finished or something. Well, I understand. I just thank God for the person who has been released now, even though ransom was paid. I have a personal experience. My sister, the son, and two other family members were kidnapped 2 years ago and went through hell. And when they were released after the ransom payment, my sister couldn't live more than a year because of the trauma and so many other things around that. So when people talk about kidnap, insecurity, and all that, I understand because I have been there and I know the hurt, I know the pain that comes with it, and the struggles for every family whose person has been kidnapped and what they go through. So I'm a victim, more or less, even though vicariously I wasn't the one kidnapped, but my sister was, with the child and so some other people. Okay, her in-laws. So 5 family members were kidnapped at the same time, and I know what we went through. So I quite understand. Let me take. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
And
to you.
Thanks for a fantastic show, and
Thank you.
to Dr. Anosike. It's been a while. Hi, call your show. My name is Remy. I'm calling from London.
Okay, Remy, thanks for joining us.
Now, Sheyi Makinde saying, and I'm sorry for your family experience of kidnap. You see, sometimes when we hear these stories, we just think it's a movie. We think we are reading novel, but these are real people, real family. There is no one that will be held by these lunatics for whatever time that we ever remain the same again.
True.
And I keep thinking, those girls, those students that were kidnapped in Nigeria recently, how can they recover? Only God can make them recover, because no amount of therapy you will give them that will make them wipe off that memory of living in the bush with armed men.
True.
So when they talk about sovereignty, it's crazy. I'm so sorry for you and your family. God bless
That's
you all.
Right.
Now,
healed.
Sheyi Makinde saying, "Oh, you can't speak truth to power with this government." Did he just know that when he abandoned his own party and behind this individual? You can never speak truth to it. The most ridiculous part of it is this: the National Assembly, that should be a separate arm of democratic government, abandoned its own mandate, its own constitutional mandate, to adopt the mandate of Sheyi's daddy. My bro, please, your audience are not dumb people. Everybody that listen to you are intelligent people. Let them find a nation, not even Russia, not even China, where they sing, "On your mandate we shall stand." On they swear allegiance to an individual. No, but Nigerian politicians, National Assembly, abandon their constitutional mandate to swear allegiance to Tinubu. I don't show this to people. I cannot show this to my British or American friends, because they will think we Nigerians are not intelligent, and that's not the case. So we are at the point where Nigerians themselves, we have to rescue themselves and deliver themselves, and that is why I'm going to beg you. We know, go out and collect your PVC if you don't have one. Be intentional about this coming voting. Don't say leave it to them. That's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to relinquish your responsibility. They want you to give up. That is why be intentional. You can defeat these people if you are intentional about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I buy that too. Go out, get your PVCs, do the needful. As simple as that. A lot of people say they are very disheartened because of what happens. But you know what? If election day comes and only APC members have their PVCs, the election will still go on. Even if 200 million people registered and only 200 people out of 200 million, only 200 people came out to vote, the election will still. They will not say we have formed a quorum. There's no quorum in election. The people that came out to vote are the ones that they will count. So go out, get your PVC, make a statement, even if you think that the statement is not enough. How can you go and vote and they don't count your votes and all that? Go make a statement. Let them know that you're watching them. Let them know that you don't like the people who maybe will force themselves into the office and all that, and they will sit up. If you keep saying, I don't care because it doesn't matter, then they will always have their way. So thank you very much, my brother, for that one. Go get your BVCs no matter what, and make sure you vote. Now, Steve Ikelu is saying the president, upon assuming power, said we should not vote for him for a second term if he fails to restore adequate electricity to the nation. Today, what are we witnessing? Abysmal failure. The camping of Yusuf, Kano State Governor, to APC will not change anything. APC should not gloat over this. Kwankwaso and his Kano political heavyweights still hold the ace in Kano State. Steve Ikelu is writing from Maryland. Okay, let's say this. Good morning to you, Nyamgul. Sorry if I did not spell your name right. It's fine. I will manage. I heard you this morning talking of cassava stick empowerment by state government to the people, after which they will claim to have spent billions of naira on that program. It's that not a mockery to the people on the forceful tax law from the Nigerian government to the people. It's that not stealing by tricks. May God help us. Peter Chibuzo from Igondo. First of all, it's not the state government that has empowered the people. It's a House of Rep member who is doing that, maybe as his constitution empowerment of some sort. He's giving them cassava sticks, just like sometimes in the north you see them giving this shoe mending kit to people. Some were giving wheelbarrows, some give knives as empowerment to the people. So this person brought cassava sticks. So maybe he's not stealing by tricks, he's stealing by sticks. Okay, I'm laughing not because it's funny, but it's really crazy. But that's what happens now. People think other people are so hungry that anything you do, they will collect. And people actually collected these cassava sticks to go and plant. Some of these people don't even have farms, but they were given cassava sticks. You know, it's government thing. Now let me just collect it, even if I'm going to dump. That's the mentality we have, and we let things happen the way they happen. Anyway, we'll take all your messages later on. It's time now to take a break. You know that the break lasts till 10:30, where we'll come back. And when we return, we're going to take all these messages and then take all your calls as much as possible so that we don't leave anyone out. So don't forget to rejoin us at 10:30. Until then, my name is Nyamgul Agaji. Taking that break right now. Stay with us.
Well done, oh, my original people. How una dey? My prayer be say we go make am. So far we no be lazy. Na Kudos Homes Limited say make I come tell una about Christmas and New Year promo. How you go buy better land, take am build better house where your power go reach. For them land where dey for open place, no be poto land, no be water side, no be acquisition land. Come buy land for Omu Ketu Ekpe, Kudos Heritage Phase 1 wey be 3.5 million naira before. Now e don become 2.3 million. As we don comot 20% discount, dem land wey dey for Omu Ketu Ekpe, Kudos Heritage Phase 2 wey we dey sell for